What's up guys, Atom Bacon here, and welcome back to more Gris. In the last episode, after falling from a considerably high height and landing in the desert, well, we didn't land in the desert, we landed in what I perceived to be a tundra and then made our way to the desert. And after some light exploring, we obtained our first ability, simply referred to in-game as Heavy, although I usually refer to it as the Ground Pound. And with that, if you remember from last episode, there was a collectible that we passed that we couldn't get. But just above it was some crumbled ground. So we're going to go back and see if we can do something about that now. Not too far. And sure enough, there it goes. Make our way back. And now, with this new ability, as the sandstorm picks up, we don't get blown away. So now we can keep pressing forward without having to worry about finding shelter. You don't even have to stand still either. You can even move forward, albeit at a very slow pace, but still. This area reminds me a lot of... I don't know exactly what world it is, but it's one of the levels... Oh, whoopsies. I let go too soon. It reminds me of that level in New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Where the desert wind... it's in the desert world and the winds, try to blow you back periodically. Although it's a lot harsher in this one. And unlike in the previous areas, this sandstorm is not going to let up. If you try to move past here without having collected both stars and getting the power, you will not be able to get through here. But, let's up. And we see yet another statue. A few statues. Can I ring this? You can. Ring these bells. There's a way to go down here, but let's see if there's anything to the right. Another one of these rock monsters. Actually, a handful of them. A lot smaller than the one we saw before. We see much more of these not buildings, but more of these structures, and another one of these abstract collectibles. And more wind! That one actually caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting the wind to pick up here. Doesn't look like we'll be able to make that jump normally, but we wait for the wind to pick up. Blows us right into it. With that, let's head back and see what's underground. Whoopsies. Oh, you don't need to write it back. You can just do this. There we go. Geronimo! Well, that was anticlimactic. attempts to turn. I actually forgot that that takes multiple hits to break. And... there we go. The stars are chasing after us. In this eerily silent area. Once again devoid of color. And many, many of these statues. Seems the more that we ground pound, the more of these things, whatever they are, appear in our reflection. We still aren't entirely sure what the meaning of these statues is, but we can only assume that they're connected to the big one we saw at the beginning. As for how we get out of here, once enough of these are summoned, that happens. Will spit us back to the surface, but we aren't in the same place we were before. Dead end to the right, so let's head over left. And yet another slide. I consider this part of the same level as the desert, but it's just all the more reason why I love the red level. I'm a big fan of deserts. Well, I'm a big fan of desert levels in games. I don't care quite as much for real-life deserts. I feel like I wouldn't enjoy being in one too much, but I really like the ambience of desert levels in games. So that beginning part's really cool. And then these ruins are all... I don't really know how to describe it. They kind of feel like... so like the beginning and end of what was once and what might have been a civilization, if that makes any sense. Like, it feels like both the beginning of civilization that was abandoned before it was finished, and the remnants. Can I knock this over? Oh, hey, I can. Cool. And the remnants of a civilization once past. I'm not gonna knock them all over, but head up this way. Very abstract technology in this area. Very simplistic. We got more stars, but can't really do much. We can't even reach this platform. We can head over this way, though. Never mind. This drops down when we land on it, so... we have enough stars to head over this way. We need 3 stars to go to the right, and we don't have 3 stars, so... let's head over. It's odd. Sort of a clockwork temple of sorts. We see our objective in the top right there. Simple enough to reach. And I whiffed that. Can I? Can I make that from here? Oh, okay, that's how you get up if you fall. I've never actually whiffed that jump before, so I wasn't sure how to get up. There we go. This hasn't been too much of an issue for me, but I do have the tiniest bit of input delay, which is no fault of the game's, but rather when I plug my recording equipment into my Switch, I get a bit of input delay. I'm using the GameCube controller because it's like it has a USB, it's not wireless, and that helps mitigate it a little bit. I've noticed that the Pro controller or the detached Joy-Cons have more input lag, I think because they are wireless. They only have input lag when it's plugged into my recording. When it's just one straight HDMI right to the TV, there's no problems. Anyone who saw my recent Smash Bros. Ultimate Tournament video might have wondered why some people were complaining about input lag at one point. That's why. And why me and one other said that we hadn't noticed it because we were used to playing without it, whereas the other ones hadn't played until that day, so they were only used to that version. Whoa, that sent me flying. We got more clockwork platforming. This time there's 2 of them, so we're gonna have to weigh them both down at the same time. We have 3 stars, but it looks like we need 5 to move on, and sure enough, we got 2 more paths to take. So let's head to the left first. It doesn't matter which way you go. The game does this a lot, where it'll provide you 2 paths. You have to go both ways, but you can take them in either order you want, so. We have a hot air balloon, of all things, here. That's interesting. It's being weighed down. Let's detach it. And we want to get back up to the top as fast as possible. I'm going to use the button mashing trick. I got 1 star there. If you don't know what you're doing, this section involves a lot of waiting around. You got 1 star. But there's more of a path to the left there. There's a breakable rock. So we're gonna want, before we head back to the main area, we're gonna want to check that out. You don't want to wait all the way down, otherwise you won't make it in time. You want to wait down, or no, you want to wait all the way down, but you don't want to go all the way back down to the bottom yourself. You want to get this far, and then yes, you can just barely make it. Wait for it to raise all the way up. You could probably do that jump a little sooner, but I don't feel like wasting the time of accidentally missing. And there's a collectible over this way. I should probably, even if I don't know what those things are actually called, I should come up with some pseudo name for them other than just collectibles. I'll think of something, but not right now. Now let's head to the left. Got more of these. Again, don't really know what to call them. We can't get that way. If only we had a morph ball. Alright, well. There we go. One of these rock monsters with a cracked top, so. Wait for him to come back. And reveals that those rocks are indeed not part of the creatures themselves, but are merely hermit crab-like shells. He runs into here, and now can get under him. Honestly, the first time I played this game, when I saw that, I actually thought I was going to get like some kind of shrinking ability, or maybe like a slide, or just something that would allow me to go under short gaps. There's no such ability in this game, but when I saw that for the first time, I hadn't yet seen a precedent for how spaced apart new abilities would be, since I'd only gotten one up to this point, so thanks for that. I honestly thought that that's what was going to happen. But we can make our way up now. Keep making our way through what I've dubbed the Clockwork Ruins. And we have a very large windmill. We've seen plenty of these before. We are not heavy enough. You try jumping. Holding it doesn't matter. But as we do see, there is a difference between just standing and pressing and jumping. So we need to get more height. It can be a little hard to tell at first what areas can be walked on and which ones can't, but use the sort of grayish blue lines as your guide. Geronimo! Still not enough. We need to get even higher. I'll meet you guys back up where we were. We jump across. We're gonna need to get even higher up. If this isn't high enough, then I don't know what will be. There we go. That starts the wheel moving. Raises the... I wonder just how much of this place actually got raised up with that. Or maybe this was... I mean, it's pretty obvious that this was ascending and not this part descending, but I wonder just how much actually got picked up by that. This place has a bit of a steampunk vibe to it that I really like. Like, really minimalist steampunk. I don't really know what else to call it. Got more rocks to platform on, and I almost missed that jump. And we have another hand. And we have brought green back to the environment. I was looking for a word there. It wasn't coming to me. But with that, we have restored plant life to the world. And I think that will be a great place to leave this episode off. Next time on Gris, we press forward into the unknown. See you guys next time.